I want to thank today's sponsors, Grill Your Ass Off Seasonings. They got great merch, seasonings, condiments, everything. Check them out. GrillYourAssOff.com/mychowline. I want to thank ArmedForces.press. Check them out. Great news source about what's going on in the military here in the States and abroad. Also, I want to thank Lasered Gifts for You for awesome logo done on my ammo cans here and on the hat. Get these hats done. Thanks so much, Don. Appreciate it so much. So check them all out. GrillYourAssOff.com/mychowline, ArmedForces.press, and Lasered Gifts for You on Facebook. Welcome to my chow line. All right, so we are going to be doing some smoked catfish. All right, we're going to be using Grill Your Ass Off Pop Smoke. It's got a lot of citrus, a lot of salt, and we'll be using that as our main seasoning. We'll be using some lemons, fresh squeezed lemon juice, and some lime juice. A little bit of peanut oil, and of course we got our catfish fillets. So let's go ahead and get this going. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our little tray here. We're going to spread a little bit of peanut oil on it. I try to use like either peanut oil or beef tallow or bacon grease, some kind of good fat. Try to stay, or avocado oil would be another good one. So we're just doing a light coat on that. Now we're going to take some paper towels, dry. So now we're into the oil. We're going to take and we're going to sprinkle a little bit of this. We're going to lay it down on that, just like so. We'll do the same thing with all these others. All right, so now we're going to take this pop smoke and we're going to lightly, I mean, this is, you do not want to go heavy at all with this because it is very salty. But it's got a lot of good citrus notes to it. Really good. Set that over there. All right, so now we're going to take our lemon. I like to roll them like that. Go ahead and break some of those fibers inside. Yeah, even break it right there. All right. We're going to take and drizzle some lemon juice. All right, and I have a little infused butter that I have here. This has got a little bit of stuff in it. It's got a little bit of Worcestershire in it, a little bit of steak seasoning. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit of umami. We're going to take a sprinkle that over. You're not looking for a ton of butter, you just want a little bit of that fattiness to add a little bit of something extra. You can use regular butter. You could infuse some butter with some lemon juice if you wanted to and freeze it. It'll do really well. All right, so now we've got our smoker set at about 250, 275. Put these in and we'll check on them about 5-10 minutes. Shouldn't be a long cook at all, just like cooking salmon, all that kind of stuff. It's going to cook really quick. We're just going to look for it to start getting a good color to it and then starting to see some of those fibers separate. Our catfish has been on for probably 5 minutes. You can still see it's got a little bit of pink and some spots, a little bit of translucent stuff. So it's just starting to get cooked and butter just got melted a little bit. So we'll let this ride another 10 minutes. We should be good to go. All right, we're looking pretty good. You start to see the meat starting to separate a little bit, get flaky. You know we're getting where we need to be. Just about maybe 2 minutes more and it'll be done. We pull it off and get a taste test. Hey, welcome, and thanks so much for joining us today. We've got Kinman from our U.S. Army Reddit, or U.S. Army on Reddit, joining us today. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff going on in the military with the Army, especially with the DFACs and the BAS situation. So, Kinman, you mind sharing a little bit about your background before we get started?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was enlisted for about 9 years. I was an intel soldier. I did MI systems maintenance and integration. I deployed to Iraq on a 15-month during the surge. I've been back and forth to Afghanistan a few times. I did some work in HOA AP, and my last duty station was out of Fort Meade. And so I've stayed in the area since then. As a defense contractor. So I've still, I've even deployed as a contractor. So I've still been involved for the last few years in all things defense. I work with guys in the Army, so I still hear and see, I'm still, I still walk past where my old unit headquarters was on a regular basis. And several years ago, 8 at this point, 8-9 years ago, I got involved in the Army community on Reddit. And at one point, the group of mods there asked me to become a moderator to help on that subreddit, and that was when we had about 20 or 30,000 subscribers. And fast forward to today, we've got around 320,000 subscribers. We get about 1.5 million unique visitors every month to the community. I've always tried to keep it to a place where I wish I had as a junior soldier, somewhere that I wish I could have gone to find out what's happening or ask questions, when I was in, because you forget that even when you are an E5, E6, even junior officers, it's not always easy to find information on where you're going in your career. And that's kind of led me over the years too, whenever there's big problems that pop up, to kind of force the issue in a few ways. Because I'm out now and the Army doesn't own me, there's less, I'm less worried about the Army's opinion of me. My mod team is made up of, we have a group of active and veterans, mostly active. And so there are obviously some concerns if they were stepping out of line the way that I do sometimes. But a couple years ago, we had a problem with the Go Army Ed switch over to Ignited, a new education system that the contractors are saying was fine. Soldiers said it wasn't, and it turns out that it wasn't. They wound up firing a contractor off of that program. So over the years, there's just been a lot of, big problems coming out of the sub that I don't think get addressed. So much like what we're going to talk about today with the defects and the BAS issue, whenever I see an issue like that that's affecting soldiers across the force, that's a problem, I try to step up and kind of do my part to push that issue.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us and being willing to speak about this stuff. So what we wanted to get into first was, I've already made a couple of videos, and I talked with Rob Evans from Hots and Cots last week about the 151 million apparently that is missing, or according to the Army, not missing, and from the basic allowance and for sustenance. And so the Army came out with a memo, a MILPER. Can you explain what a MILPER is, so that way for anybody who doesn't understand?
Absolutely. They came out with a MILPER and an ALARAC. A MILPER is just a military personnel message, and an ALARAC is an all Army activities message. And these are basically just HR personnel messages that go out to the force. And so HRC, the Human Resources Command, has a MILPER, an active MILPER database. So if you want to know anything about the current state of promotions or promotion boards, or updates to certain regs, you can go to the active MILPERs and you can see everything that affects personnel and what's current. This was certainly an unprecedented way to respond on any topic. I don't know anyone that's ever seen the Army push out a MILPER and an ALARAC just to respond to a news media story. The next MILPER might be, hey, here's this month's promotion points. So it is absurd for them to push a response to news media that way, instead of, for instance, using public affairs to respond.
All right, so we have our catfish smoked using grill your ass off pop smoke. Got a little bit of lemon juice here. I'm gonna put it on the side. We use a lot of lemon and lime. Look at that. Oh yeah, flaky. Tender. Hint of saltiness and the spices from pop smoke. It's really good. Very mild. You don't get any fishiness. It's really good. Really good. All right, I'm gonna give a taste test to our lady behind the camera. That's good. Got a little bit of smokiness. I'm using pecan wood, so you get a little bit of that smoky. Oh, it's flaky, not overcooked at all. That's one thing you got to worry about with fish is overcooking it. It gets rubbery.
That was nice and juicy.
Soft, juicy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely put some more lemon juice on that. All right, guys. You got to try this. Try it with your next catfish. Summertime's coming. Time to hit the water. Get some catfish. That's good. Thank y'all.